The sky above Earth had never looked so silent. For centuries, humans had sent signals into the vast emptiness of space. Polite signals, friendly messages. "Hello, we are here," they said. Humans had no idea who might be listening. They assumed the galaxy was vast and distant, and that no one would notice a small blue planet orbiting a middle-aged star. But they were wrong. Very wrong. The first sign came on a quiet Tuesday morning. Satellites trained to watch distant stars reported strange objects moving at impossible speeds toward the solar system. The world's space agencies immediately tracked them, but even their fastest computers struggled to calculate their trajectories. By the time the news reached the public, the objects were already close enough to be seen from Earth. They were ships. Not hundreds of ships, but a fleet, towering, dark, and impossibly fast. They glimmered like black diamonds under the sun. Some were shaped like sharp triangles, others curved like giant crescent moons. Their surfaces reflected light in a strange metallic way that made them seem alive. Panic spread. Governments held emergency meetings and civilians watched the sky with wide eyes. Was it a warning? An invasion? Or worse, a complete annihilation? At the United Nations, leaders from every nation gathered. The room was tense. No one wanted to speak first. The silence was broken by Commander Alara Vance, a decorated officer of the Earth Defense Coalition. She had been preparing for this moment for years, though no one outside her team knew it. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, her voice steady, "these ships are not human. They are advanced and we do not yet know their intentions. Our first priority is to observe them carefully and remain united. Panic will not help us survive." While many leaders nodded, fear flickered across their faces. The Zytrons, as the alien fleet called themselves, had a reputation. They were the galaxy's strongest, feared across countless star systems. Planets that refused their orders often vanished without a trace. Humanity was, by all appearances, insignificant. Polite, yes, but defenseless. Yet Alara saw something the others did not. Humanity was not defenseless. Humans were clever, adaptable, and stubborn in ways no one could predict. For centuries, humans had survived disasters, wars, and diseases. They had sent signals into space for decades, waiting politely for answers. And now they were about to receive one. The Zytron fleet positioned itself in orbit around Earth. Their ships radiated an energy that made satellites fail and communication signals drop. No one could move freely in space without interference. Panic became fear. Then came the first message. It was simple, cold, and precise: to submit or be destroyed. The words sent chills through every leader in the room. The Zytrons assumed humans would surrender. They assumed politeness was weakness. They were wrong. On the ground, people reacted in different ways. Some ran to shelters. Some tried to communicate with the aliens. Others watched the sky with a strange mixture of awe and fear. In hidden labs and military bases, scientists and engineers worked around the clock. They were ready for this moment, even if the public was not. Commander Vance called a meeting with her closest advisors. The room was filled with holographic displays of the alien fleet, each ship more massive than the last. "Commander," said Dr. Ryan Chen, a physicist specializing in energy cores, "we have analyzed their ships. They draw power from cores unlike anything we've seen. If we can disrupt the energy flow, we might be able to defend ourselves." Alara nodded. "Good, but we need more than just defense. The Zytrons assume we are weak. We need to show them they were wrong. Subtlety, strategy, and speed, those are our allies. We cannot match them ship for ship, but we can match them in creativity." Meanwhile, on the streets of major cities, people noticed strange phenomena. Lights in the sky moved in impossible patterns. Communications flickered and shimmered. Humans felt a deep instinctive unease. And yet there was also excitement. Something extraordinary was happening. The planet was about to change forever. In orbit, Zytron ships began scanning Earth. Their sensors penetrated the atmosphere, analyzing the surface for signs of weapons or defenses. They expected to find a primitive species. No coordination, no military strategy, no resistance. What they found surprised them. Human activity was subtle but effective. Satellites had already been repositioned. Small automated defense drones had taken up positions above major cities. Energy shields, prototypes developed secretly for years, activated automatically in response to alien scans. Even the Zytrons, masters of technology, did not expect these hidden systems. One Zytron general, observing the displays, tilted his massive head. His voice, translated through the fleet's communication system, was sharp and incredulous. They are organized. Too organized. And yet no weapons of mass destruction. Are they truly defenseless? No matter, another replied. We will crush them. They cannot resist us for long. Back on Earth, Commander Vance and her team were already implementing their plan. Using a combination of science and strategy, they identified weak points in Zytron sensors, mapping areas where humans could hide, move, and strike if needed. Alara looked at the holographic map of Earth and the surrounding fleet. We have one chance to make them reconsider, she said. Not by surrender, not by begging, but by showing them we are not to be underestimated. Humanity has survived worse. Humanity has outsmarted stronger enemies before, and we will do it again. Her words were broadcast secretly to field teams, engineers, and defense units. Across the planet, humans prepared. In hidden bunkers, scientists monitored alien energy readings. In orbit, human satellites adjusted to avoid detection. Civilians trained for emergency response, following simple instructions to stay safe and support the defense effort. Night fell on Earth. The alien fleet hung like a dark storm above the planet, unmoving and imposing. Humanity's surface lights glimmered faintly, but beneath them humans moved with purpose, ready to protect their world. Then came the first contact attempt. A Zytron scout ship lowered to a remote area of Earth, a massive black vessel resting on the ground like a jagged crystal. Its surface shimmered, scanning for life. From inside, an alien figure emerged. Towering, armored, and sharp-featured, the Zytron ambassador carried no weapon but radiated power. Local authorities tried to approach, but Alara intervened. She and her team met the alien, calm but alert. You have come far to reach our planet, Alara said. What is your message? The Zytron's voice was cold and metallic. We are the strongest in the galaxy. We demand your surrender. Resistance is futile. Submit or your world will be destroyed. Alara studied the alien. Polite words, but arrogance seeped through. The Zytrons expected fear, but what they saw instead was confidence. Earth will not surrender, she replied firmly. We have lived for thousands of years. We have survived countless challenges. You may be strong, but we are clever, united, and adaptable. We will not be destroyed without a fight. The Zytron paused, analyzing her words. It had never encountered a species that spoke with such certainty when facing overwhelming power. Commander Vance knew the real battle was just beginning. The world above and below was watching. Humanity was small, yes, but it was also strong in ways the galaxy had never understood. Polite signals had always hidden true potential. As the alien returned to its ship, Alara turned to her team. We were just being polite, she said, but the time for politeness is over. Humanity will show the galaxy who we are, and they will remember it. The night sky above Earth sparkled with stars, and the alien fleet lingered, unaware that the greatest challenge of their existence had just begun. For the first time, humanity understood something profound. Fear could be transformed into courage. Politeness could hide strength. And unity could overcome even the galaxy's strongest enemies. The story of Earth's fight for survival and eventual respect was only beginning. The Zytron fleet hung over Earth like a shadow that refused to move. Cities shimmered beneath their presence as if the planet itself was holding its breath. Across continents, humans watched the dark shapes in the sky, feeling both fear and awe. The aliens were massive, stronger, and technologically advanced beyond imagination. And yet, something about their behavior puzzled humanity. They had not attacked immediately. Commander Alara Vance stood in the command center deep beneath the Earth Defense Coalition headquarters. Walls of monitors displayed real-time data from satellites and field units. The maps showed the positions of the Zytron ships, but no patterns indicated immediate attack plans. Alara studied the screens carefully. They are studying us, she said, her voice calm but firm. They expect us to panic, to surrender, to beg for mercy. They assume politeness equals weakness. That is their mistake. Dr. Ryan Chen, the physicist, leaned over a console, pointing to a cluster of energy readings from the alien fleet. Commander, their energy cores are incredibly advanced, but we've identified fluctuations. They rely heavily on stable energy flow. If we can disrupt it, even briefly, we could gain a significant advantage. Alara nodded. Good. We must act with precision. No wasted effort. Humanity will show them that we are not the species they think we are. Meanwhile, the Zitron ambassador had returned to orbit after its initial visit. Its report to the fleet caused unrest among the alien ranks. They speak with confidence, yet they have no true weapons to match us, the ambassador said. Its voice was metallic, cold, and unwavering. Are they foolish or clever? The Zitron Council debated, their glowing eyes reflecting concern. They had encountered countless civilizations, but none had displayed the mix of intelligence, coordination, and calm defiance that humans did. On Earth, preparation was underway. Cities were equipped with hidden defenses, energy shields disguised as communication towers, decoy drones designed to mislead alien sensors, and advanced AI systems programmed to respond faster than any Zitron command could. Humanity had waited politely for contact, but now it was ready to defend itself without hesitation. Ilara moved from room to room, overseeing the final stages of preparation. In one lab, engineers tested energy pulse disruptors designed to interfere with Zitron cores. In another, soldiers rehearsed rapid deployment strategies to evacuate civilians safely while engaging enemy forces. Even civilians played a role. Volunteers worked in safe zones, preparing emergency supplies, building shelters, and practicing evacuation drills. Across the globe, humans were united in purpose. Fear existed, but it was paired with determination. Humanity would not yield. The first human initiative came in the form of communication. Earth scientists, led by Dr. Chen, had developed a subtle signal interference technique. They broadcasted carefully crafted signals to the Zitrons, appearing as friendly but confusing patterns. The intent was simple, to show intelligence, but also to test reactions and probe weaknesses. The aliens noticed immediately. Zitron ships shifted, scanning the signals, attempting to decode them. To the humans, it was a small victory. For the first time, Earth was influencing the behavior of the galaxy's strongest species. Ilara watched the data feed. "It is working," she said softly. "They are uncertain. That is when we act. That is when humans become unstoppable." The Zitron fleet grew restless. Their scans revealed anomalies, structures on Earth that did not match natural formations, movement patterns too organized to be random. They began to realize that humans were hiding capabilities, but they still assumed Earth's defenses were primitive compared to their own power. A bold move was made. One Zitron cruiser descended closer to the Pacific Ocean, its massive shadow swallowing entire coastlines. The intention was intimidation, a show of power. Humans observed in silence, their hearts racing, but they did not panic. Instead, human scientists activated a defensive network of satellites and drones. Small, invisible energy pulses disrupted the alien ship's scanning systems. Alarms rang aboard the cruiser. Crew members swiveled mechanical eyes in every direction, trying to locate the source. "They are interfering with our sensors," the Zitron general shouted. "A primitive species, this is impossible." Ilara smiled at the command center monitors. "Nothing is impossible for humanity," she whispered. Then she addressed her team. "This is our chance. Keep probing. Keep confusing them. Every second of uncertainty counts." In cities across the world, civilians noticed small signs of human ingenuity. Lights blinked in patterns that confounded alien sensors. Drones mimicked natural birds, creating decoy formations in the sky. Even simple acts like vehicles moving in synchronized patterns disrupted Zitron observation algorithms. Humans had turned everyday life into a tool of resistance. The Zitrons, frustrated and confused, began to underestimate their opponent. Some commanders believed that humans were clever by accident. They assumed luck was responsible for these minor disruptions, not true strategy. That mistake would prove costly. Ilara convened a smaller meeting with field commanders and scientists. "We've identified a vulnerability in the Zitron energy cores," she said, pointing at a holographic projection. "It is brief, but exploitable. If we can coordinate an energy pulse precisely, we could temporarily disable their systems and gain time. Time is our greatest weapon. Dr. Chen nodded. It will require perfect synchronization. Drones, satellites, and ground-based units all need to act together. Any misstep, and the pulse could fail, or worse, alert them to our full capabilities. Ilara's eyes shone with determination. Then we will not fail. Humanity does not stumble in the face of challenges. We adapt, we survive. And now, we will show the Zytrans why politeness should never be mistaken for weakness. Hours passed. The Zytrons monitored every move, but they could not fully understand human coordination. Humans acted unpredictably, yet in perfect unity. Civilians assisted scientists by providing real-time environmental data. Engineers adjusted energy pulses mid-flight. Soldiers maintained readiness while managing civilian safety. The entire planet became part of the defense strategy. Then came the first real test. A Zytron scout attempted to land near a major city, expecting minimal resistance. Human drones and decoy systems activated instantly. The alien ship's sensors flickered as it tried to track moving signals. Civilians in the area evacuated under protective guidance, while automated defenses created false targets. The scout fired a small energy beam, expecting easy results. Instead, it hit a disguised energy shield and bounced harmlessly into the sky. The alien crew recoiled in surprise. "They are not defenseless," one shouted. "How is this possible?" On Earth, the command center erupted in controlled excitement. Ilara maintained her calm demeanor. "It is possible because humanity does not give up. It is possible because we work together. And it is possible because we are strong in ways they cannot imagine." The Zytrons retreated momentarily, recalibrating. But Earth had already learned something vital. They could influence alien behavior. They could defend themselves. They could survive. And perhaps, if necessary, they could fight back. As night fell over the planet, the alien fleet hovered silently. Humans were ready, but they did not yet reveal the full extent of their capabilities. Commander Vance and her team knew that the coming days would test humanity in ways they had never faced before. The polite signals sent into space for decades had awakened the galaxy's strongest. Now humanity would decide how to respond, not with fear but with intelligence, courage, and unity. Ilara looked out over the command center balcony, observing the lights of the city below. Millions of people slept, unaware of how close the planet had come to danger. Yet the humans were not helpless. They had prepared in secret. They had learned. They had adapted. "Politeness has its limits," she said softly. "And humanity is no longer just polite. The galaxy will learn that very soon." The stars above seemed unchanged, but Earth was different. Humanity had stepped into the larger story of the cosmos. They had sent polite signals for decades, waiting for an answer. And now, the answer had come. But this time, humanity would respond on its own terms. The first contact had been made. The real test, the fight for respect and survival, was only beginning. Humans watched the skies not with fear but with focus. The Zytrons were strong, but humans were clever, united and determined, and those were strengths the galaxy had never truly faced before. The days after the first contact had changed everything. The Zytron fleet remained in orbit, a dark and silent presence that loomed over Earth like a storm waiting to strike. Civilians went about their lives, but the awareness of the alien strength was never far from anyone's mind. Humanity had survived the first encounter, but the real challenge had just begun. Commander Ilara Vance moved through the Earth Defense Coalition Command Center, observing data streaming from every corner of the globe. Energy readings, satellite feeds, drone positions, and civilian reports were all integrated into one system. Humanity was learning quickly, and the Zytrons were noticing. "They are adapting too fast," said General Marcus Hale, one of Ilara's top military advisors. His voice was tight with concern. "Our intelligence shows minor disruptions in their systems already. Their interference signals are becoming more complex. They are learning from us as much as we are learning from them." Ilara nodded. "That is exactly what makes them dangerous, and exactly why we can succeed. The Zytrons underestimate us. They assume that because we are polite, we are weak. They are wrong. Across the globe, humans were taking small but calculated actions. Engineers and scientists, often working in civilian roles, created decoy energy signals to confuse alien sensors. Cities were rigged with concealed defense mechanisms, energy nets, automated barriers, and drone swarms disguised as everyday traffic. Even children, unaware of the full danger, helped in minor ways like guiding small autonomous drones to specific points in the city. Every human contribution mattered. In orbit, Zytron ships began to display impatience. Their commanders had expected Earth to either surrender or collapse under intimidation, but neither had happened. One cruiser attempted to force a path toward the planet's surface to test defenses. Immediately, humans responded. Stealth drones and satellite-controlled energy pulses created illusions of massive forces that did not exist. The cruiser fired energy beams at the false targets only to have them dissipate harmlessly. The alien crew was bewildered. They adapt. But slowly, one Zytron officer said, "They are clever, but their defenses are limited. We must find a weakness and strike decisively." Meanwhile, on Earth, Commander Vance convened a strategy session with her senior team. The plan was bold. Humans would begin precision strikes not to destroy the Zytrons, but to disrupt their operations and test weaknesses. Dr. Rian Chen brought up a holographic projection of the Zytron fleet. "Their energy cores are vulnerable in short bursts," he explained. "We can exploit these pulses, but timing is critical. If we misfire, the signals will alert them to our full capabilities." Ilara studied the projection. "Then we act with caution, precision, and creativity. Humanity has never faced a challenge like this, but we have survived greater threats with less. It is time to show them that unity, intelligence, and strategy matter more than raw power." The first strike came subtly. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean, a human-engineered pulse temporarily disrupted a Zytron scout ship's energy core. The ship twitched. Its sensors scrambled for a few critical seconds, and it was forced to retreat. The humans did not destroy the ship. It was a warning, a demonstration. In the command center, the team celebrated quietly. "They felt it," Dr. Chen said. "It is minor, but they felt it. They know humans can interfere." Across the Zytron fleet, confusion and debate erupted. Some commanders insisted on immediate retaliation, but others argued for caution. No species had ever resisted the Zytron's control this way. The aliens realized that Earth was not just another polite, defenseless planet. Humans were capable of adaptation, strategy, and resistance. Ilara did not allow her team to become complacent. "One small victory does not win the war," she said. "We need consistent, precise actions. We must show them that Earth cannot be taken lightly. We fight smart, not just hard." In cities around the world, humans continued their subtle operations. Engineers created small electromagnetic pulses that interfered with Zytron sensors. Drones moved in synchronized patterns to create illusions of larger forces. Even natural phenomena were used. Weather balloons carrying reflective materials disrupted scanning equipment, and tidal patterns were monitored to hide human movements. Every action was a thread in a web of resistance. The Zytrons, increasingly frustrated, began to escalate. A cruiser fired energy beams at what they believed were human installations, only to strike decoy structures. Another attempted to land troops in a desert, but hidden human energy shields forced them to retreat. "They are unpredictable," one Zytron general said. "They adapt faster than anticipated. Every action we take is met with a counteraction. How can a primitive species do this?" Ilara smiled as she observed these reports. "That unpredictability is our advantage," she said. "They see strength only in brute force. We see strength in unity, intelligence, and adaptability. That is what will win this fight." The rising tension was not just technical, it was psychological. The Zytrons had expected fear and submission, but humans showed none. Civilians continued daily life under subtle protective measures, while scientists and soldiers executed their strategies behind the scenes. Humanity was teaching the galaxy's strongest species a lesson in humility. Then came a bold human maneuver. Using a combination of drones, energy pulses, and cyber interference, Earth forces simulated a larger planetary defense network. The Zytrons detected multiple threats in various locations, all of which were illusions. The aliens diverted resources and attention repeatedly, wasting precious energy on false targets. On the surface, citizens watched the skies as mysterious lights moved, seemingly with purpose. Some assumed it was an alien threat. Others assumed it was natural phenomena. In reality, It was the brilliance of human strategy at work. Civilians unknowingly participated in the defense, their movements and actions integrated into a vast web of coordination. The Zytrons were growing frustrated. Their belief in human weakness was shattered. Every calculated move they attempted was met with unexpected countermeasures. They began to question not only Earth's strength, but their own understanding of intelligence in the galaxy. One Zytron commander transmitted a message to the Fleet Council. "We face a species that is different. They are small, seemingly weak, yet coordinated and clever. They do not panic. They adapt. Every strike we anticipate is countered. This is unacceptable." The Council debated. Some insisted on a full-scale assault, but others feared that such an attack might be met with resistance beyond expectation. The Zytrons had never encountered a civilization that combined ingenuity, determination, and unity in such a way. Meanwhile, Ilara and her team prepared the next phase. "We will continue testing their limits," she said. "Every strike we make, every pulse we send teaches us more. Humanity thrives on knowledge and adaptation. They underestimate us at their own risk." The next human operation involved coordinated disruption of Zytron communication. Satellites, drones, and terrestrial devices emitted synchronized pulses, temporarily blocking key channels used by the aliens. Zytron ships experienced delays, miscalculations, and minor collisions. The humans had not destroyed anything, yet they had shifted the balance of perception. In orbit, Zytron commanders communicated in frustration. "We cannot comprehend their methods," one said. "Every action is unexpected. They are organized in ways we did not predict. They are small but dangerous." Back on Earth, civilians were unaware of the full impact of their daily actions. But in the command center, Ilara and her team monitored every move, every signal, every success. They had shown the first signs that humans could defend themselves against the galaxy's strongest. Ilara looked out over the city lights. Humanity had lived for thousands of years under constant challenges, yet they had survived, adapted, and thrived. The Zytrons assumed weakness where there was strength. They assumed fear where there was courage. They assumed ignorance where there was knowledge. "Politeness is no longer our shield," she said softly. "Cleverness, courage, and unity are our weapons, and the galaxy will soon understand that humanity is not to be underestimated." The night sky shimmered as alien lights blinked in confusion. Humans were small in scale, but their presence was now undeniable. The Zytrons had come expecting compliance, and instead, they had encountered strategy, intelligence, and determination. Humanity's polite signals had awakened a challenge, but now, humanity's resolve would shape the response. The rising tension between Earth and the Zytrons was only a beginning. Humanity had proven that even in the face of the galaxy's strongest, courage and intelligence could level the playing field. The story of Earth's resistance continued, not with fear but with strategy, cooperation, and the quiet determination of a species unwilling to bow. And as the Zytrons observed, they began to understand a simple truth: underestimating humans was their first mistake. The first weeks of observation and subtle resistance had changed the way the Zytrons saw Earth. What they had assumed was a polite, weak planet was now proving to be clever, coordinated, and adaptive. The alien fleet hovered like a dark shadow over the planet, but Earth's humans were no longer trembling. They were planning, and this time they were ready to strike back. Commander Ilara Vance stood at the head of a massive holographic display. Every alien ship in orbit was marked, every weak point noted. Small green dots represented human drones, some in orbit, some on the surface ready to act. The plan was ambitious. A coordinated strike that would not destroy the Zytrons but would force them to respect Earth's strength. "We do not need to win by force alone," Ilara said to her team. "We need to show them that humanity cannot be intimidated. Every strike must be precise. Every move must confuse and delay. We fight smart, not just hard. This is our moment." Dr. Ryan Chen, standing beside her, pointed to several Zytron ships highlighted in red. Their energy cores are vulnerable for short periods when powering multiple systems simultaneously. If we target them during that window, we can temporarily disable their defenses without causing permanent damage. They will think twice about attacking us directly. Ilara nodded. "Good. Synchronize all drones, satellites, and ground units. Civilian participation will be critical. Every city, every network, every signal counts. Humanity is united, and that unity is our strength. As the first wave of human operations began, citizens were unaware of the full scale of their involvement. In major cities, ordinary people followed instructions to create decoy signals, activate minor energy pulses, and observe coordinated evacuation routes. Engineers in hidden labs worked tirelessly, adjusting timing for drones and satellites to create precise interference with Zytron sensors. Soldiers were ready to respond to any alien movement, while automated systems created the illusion of massive human forces everywhere. The first strike was small, but effective. A Zytron scout ship attempted to approach a coastal city, expecting minimal resistance. Instead, it encountered a web of decoys, drones, and electromagnetic interference. Its sensors scrambled, and the ship tumbled briefly in orbit before retreating. Humans cheered quietly, knowing that a larger plan was in motion. The Zytrons, increasingly frustrated, called for a fleet council. The commanders argued heatedly. Some wanted to attack the planet with full force, believing Earth would eventually fall. Others hesitated. Every time they attempted to strike, the humans adapted, disrupted, and misled them. The alien confidence was slipping. Why do they resist so cleverly? One Zytron general asked. They are small. Their weapons are primitive. Yet every action we take is countered. How can this be? They are different, another replied. Not weak. Not primitive. We have underestimated them. That is a mistake we cannot afford. Back on Earth, the main phase of humanity's plan began. Commander Vance initiated a series of coordinated strikes aimed at key points of the Zytron fleet. Using synchronized drones, satellite-based energy pulses, and ground-based interference units, humans targeted the energy cores of multiple ships simultaneously. The pulses were brief but effective, causing confusion and forcing several ships to retreat temporarily. Dr. Chen monitored the operation closely. It is working. Multiple energy cores are offline for short periods. The fleet is struggling to maintain formation. Ilara smiled. Exactly. Precision, coordination, and intelligence. This is the way humanity fights. Even civilians contributed. Engineers in cities used reflective materials and mirrors to misdirect alien sensors. Autonomous vehicles carried small decoy devices to create fake energy signals. Children participating in evacuation drills unknowingly helped by guiding drones along specific routes. Every human action, intentional or not, contributed to the growing network of resistance. The Zytrons attempted to retaliate. A massive cruiser descended toward a desert testing zone, expecting minimal human resistance. Immediately, ground-based energy shields activated, reflecting energy beams harmlessly into the sky. Drones moved in synchronized patterns, creating illusions of massive forces on the ground. The alien ship fired repeatedly, only to be forced back by precise and unexpected defenses. They are coordinated in ways we do not understand, the alien commander said. Every move is anticipated or countered. They are clever beyond our expectations. Ilara did not allow the team to celebrate too early. This is only the beginning, she said. Every success teaches us more. Every misstep teaches them more. We must maintain control. Humanity thrives on knowledge, adaptability, and unity. That is how we win. Then came the boldest maneuver. Humans decided to target one of the largest Zytron ships in orbit, a command cruiser responsible for coordinating several smaller vessels. Using a combination of energy pulses, satellite-guided drones, and electronic interference, humans temporarily disabled its energy core. The cruiser twitched, alarms blaring across its hull. Zytron officers scrambled, trying to regain control. In the command center, cheers erupted. "We did it!" one engineer exclaimed. Ilara raised a hand to quiet the room. "We did it, yes, but this is also a message. We have the intelligence to defend ourselves, the courage to act, and the unity to survive. That is what the Zytrons must remember." The alien fleet, observing the disruption, hesitated. For the first time, they realized that Earth was not a planet that could be conquered by strength alone. Humans had shown creativity, adaptability, and determination. They had survived the first strikes and had retaliated effectively. The Zytrons' frustration was clear. Their council debated fiercely. Some argued that they had underestimated the species and that a more careful approach was needed. Others wanted to retreat and reassess, recognizing that direct attack could be costly. On Earth, civilians and military personnel alike felt a sense of empowerment. Humanity had gone from hiding in fear to orchestrating a clever defense. Engineers, soldiers, scientists, and civilians worked together seamlessly. Even small contributions like adjusting drone pathways or monitoring energy pulses made a difference. Ilara addressed her team one final time for the day. We have proven something important. Humanity is not to be underestimated. We fight with intelligence, unity, and courage. Our enemies may be stronger, but strength alone does not guarantee victory. The galaxy must learn that Earth is not a polite, weak planet. We are clever, determined, and united. That is our greatest strength. Night fell over Earth, and the Zytron fleet lingered in orbit, hesitant and cautious. Humans had shown that they could strike back and disrupt the aliens' operations without destroying the ships. The message was clear. Humanity would defend itself, and it would do so intelligently. Civilians, unaware of the full scale of operations, slept peacefully under the stars. Engineers, soldiers, and scientists continued their work, ensuring that Earth remained prepared for any escalation. Humanity had taken the first decisive step in asserting its place in the galaxy, not through brute force but through intelligence, strategy, and unity. Commander Vance looked up at the alien fleet shimmering above Earth. For the first time, the Zytrons hesitated. They had underestimated humans, assuming that politeness and civility meant weakness. They were wrong. Humanity had survived, adapted, and fought back. And now the galaxy's strongest species would remember it. Ilara turned to her team. "This is only the beginning," she said. "Humanity has shown its strength, but we will continue to adapt, continue to innovate, and continue to defend our world. Politeness may have guided our actions in the past, but now we act with courage and purpose, and the galaxy will never forget it." As the stars twinkled above, humans on Earth rested, repaired, and prepared. They had survived the first test. They had struck back with precision and intelligence. The Zytrons had learned a crucial lesson. Earth was not to be taken lightly, and the story of humanity's courage, ingenuity, and unity was only just beginning. The Zytron fleet had lingered over Earth for weeks. Their initial confidence had been shaken by human ingenuity, precision, and unity. Commander Ilara Vance and her team had led humanity through the first strikes, subtle disruptions, and clever defenses. Now, it was time to send a message, not with fear, but with unmistakable confidence. Ilara stood in the Earth Defense Coalition Command Center, surrounded by scientists, engineers, and military leaders. The holographic map of the solar system glowed above them, showing every Zytron ship in orbit. Their patterns were disrupted, their formations uncertain. Humanity had forced hesitation among the galaxy's strongest. "We have made them pause," Ilara said. "We have survived their presence, disrupted their operations, and shown that intelligence, strategy, and unity can rival raw power. But we are not finished. The next step is clear. We must let the galaxy know that Earth will no longer be underestimated." Dr. Rian Chen stepped forward. "Commander, we have prepared a signal, a combination of electromagnetic pulses, quantum encoding, and holographic transmission. It will reach every part of the galaxy that is listening. This message will not ask for recognition. It will not beg for peace. It will state the truth about humanity." Ilara nodded. "Good. Prepare the broadcast. Let every intelligent species hear it. Let them understand that Earth is united, clever, and prepared to defend itself." Across the globe, humans went about final preparations. Engineers calibrated transmitters, satellites synchronized for perfect signal timing. Civilians helped by monitoring local networks to ensure the message would reach far and wide. The entire planet became part of the broadcast effort. Then came the moment of transmission. Ilara activated the system. The message spread first into orbit, reaching the Zytron fleet in real time. The alien ships flickered, their sensors struggling to process the sudden influx of data. Every command system, every energy core, every communication network was briefly overloaded by the sheer precision and sophistication of human technology. On the main screen, the holographic display showed the signal expanding outward, a pulse of intelligence, unity, and confidence radiating from Earth. Humans had not destroyed the Zytrons. They had not fired a single destructive shot in this broadcast. Yet the effect was undeniable. The galaxy, starting with its strongest species, had learned a fundamental truth about humanity. The Zytrons responded immediately. Their fleet scattered in confusion. Energy cores stabilized, sensors recalibrated, and commanders communicated frantically. One officer turned to the Zytron Council, eyes wide with disbelief. They did not attack us. They are organized. Their systems are efficient. Their intelligence, we underestimated them. The Council, glowing with internal light, debated fiercely. For the first time, they questioned whether force alone could conquer the humans. They had assumed that politeness meant weakness. That assumption was now shattered. Ilara and her team observed the fleet's reactions. They are realizing what we always knew, she said softly. Humanity is clever, united, and adaptable. That is our greatest strength. The galaxy must respect it. Meanwhile, the human broadcast continued outward into deep space. Other civilizations, some who had only glimpsed Earth's signals in the past, now received the message in full clarity. Across the stars, they observed the proof of humanity's intelligence and coordination. A small polite species had survived and disrupted the operations of the galaxy's strongest. They had proven that courage, unity, and cleverness mattered more than raw strength alone. On Earth, celebrations were quiet but meaningful. Civilians, unaware of the full scope of the broadcast, felt a sense of hope and pride. Soldiers, engineers, and scientists knew the truth. Humanity had made the first bold statement to the galaxy, not with weapons, but with intelligence. The Zytrons, humbled, retreated from Earth orbit, leaving behind a fleet that shimmered in cautious withdrawal. Commander Vance observed the movement, understanding the subtle victory. They retreat, she said, but they will not forget. Humanity has claimed respect, not through violence alone, but through intelligence, strategy, and courage. Even as the Zytrons departed, Earth remained vigilant. Ilara and her team continued to monitor the skies, knowing that other civilizations would now pay attention to this small blue planet. Humanity had sent a clear message. They would no longer be underestimated. In the following days, scientists analyzed the data collected from Zytron systems. They discovered patterns, vulnerabilities, and behaviors that would guide future defenses. Civilians continued their work quietly, contributing in small ways that reinforced Earth's readiness. Every human, knowingly or unknowingly, had become part of a larger network of resilience. Ilara convened a final meeting with her team. We have achieved something remarkable, she said. But this is not the end. Humanity's message has been sent. We have shown the galaxy that we are clever, united, and capable of defending ourselves. The Zytrons have learned, and other species will watch and learn as well. But we must remain vigilant. The cosmos is vast, and our strength is in our unity and intelligence. Dr. Chen smiled. It is extraordinary, Commander. We have survived the impossible and emerged stronger. Other civilizations will remember Earth as a planet that cannot be ignored. Ilara nodded. Yes, and we will continue to grow, learn, and prepare. We have survived our first test. The galaxy now knows that humanity cannot be taken lightly. Meanwhile, the Zytrons, back in their own space, debated the meaning of their encounter. One general admitted quietly, "We misjudged them. They are small, but their courage and intelligence rival the strongest species we have known. We will reconsider any approach to this planet carefully." Another officer added, "They fight with unity. They adapt. They are clever. This is a species that cannot be conquered by force alone. We underestimated them, and we will remember this lesson." Back on Earth, Ilara watched the sun rise over the horizon. Cities buzzed with life. Humans went about their routines, yet the world had changed forever. The polite signals sent into the cosmos had awakened a challenge. Humanity had responded with intelligence, strategy, and courage. And now, the galaxy understood that Earth was not a planet to be taken lightly. Ilara turned to her team one last time. "Remember this moment," she said. "Humanity has proven that intelligence, courage, and unity can overcome even the greatest threats. We were polite, yes, but we are also strong, and the galaxy must respect that." The human broadcast continued to ripple through space, a lasting message to every intelligent species. We were just being polite. Until now. Respect us, or face the consequences. For the first time, humanity felt the full weight of its achievement. They had faced the galaxy's strongest, survived and earned recognition, not through fear, not through destruction, but through cleverness, unity, and courage. Every human, from the engineers in hidden labs to civilians in quiet cities, had contributed to this victory. The story of Earth's rise on the galactic stage had begun. Politeness had been their shield, intelligence their weapon, and unity their strength. And now, the galaxy knew a simple truth. Humanity could not be underestimated. The Zytrons had retreated, humbled but aware of the challenge they faced. Other species across the stars had observed, learning that a small blue planet could withstand even the galaxy's strongest when courage and intelligence worked together. Humanity had earned respect, and in doing so, secured a place in the greater story of the cosmos. As the sun climbed higher over Earth, Ilara reflected on everything that had happened. Humanity had survived, adapted, and proved itself to the galaxy. But more importantly, humans had shown what they were capable of when united, when clever, and when courageous. Politeness had been their beginning, determination had been their tool, and unity had been their greatest strength. The galaxy would never forget Earth again, and somewhere deep in the stars, the Zytrons, the strongest species they had ever known, carried one truth with them: humans were not to be underestimated.